In the quaint village of Elmswood, there lived a man named James Blackwood. James was a figure of both fascination and frustration, known throughout the village for his insatiable desires and relentless pursuit of pleasure. He was a man whose appetites knew no bounds. Despite his handsome features and charming demeanor, there was something about James that left him perpetually unsatisfied, always searching for more. James's reputation as a lover was legendary, or perhaps infamous, among the women of Elmswood. From dawn till dusk, he would be seen flirting, courting, and ultimately sleeping on from one woman to the next. His behavior was a source of endless gossip in the village, and though many found his pursuits distasteful, no one could deny the allure of his enigmatic charm. It wasn't that James lacked options. Quite the contrary, his charisma made him popular among the ladies, and he rarely found himself without a companion. Yet, despite the numerous affairs and fleeting relationships, no woman ever seemed to fulfill the emptiness he carried inside. His quest for satisfaction became an obsession, driving him to seek out the next conquest in a never-ending cycle. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the village prepared for a night of rest, James encountered a woman who would change his life forever. Her name was Alara. She was a stranger in Elmswood, her origins shrouded in mystery. Alara was a woman of striking beauty, with dark, piercing eyes and an aura of otherworldly allure. When James met her at the village tavern, he was immediately captivated. Alara was different from the women James was used to. She spoke in enigmatic riddles and seemed to possess an air of detachment that both intrigued and unsettled him. Despite his usual confidence, James found himself drawn to her in a way he hadn't experienced before. That night, after an evening of intense conversation and flirtation, James and Alara ended up together, their passion culminating in an affair that was both exhilarating and unsettling. The morning after their encounter, Alara was gone. James awoke alone, his mind filled with the lingering sensation of their passionate night. At first, he tried to dismiss it as a fleeting affair, but as the days passed, he noticed a strange and unsettling shift in his life. It started with minor disturbances. James found himself plagued by an inexplicable sense of dissatisfaction whenever he encountered other women. No matter how attractive or alluring they were, he felt an overwhelming sense of emptiness after their encounters. The pleasure that had once come so easily was now elusive and fleeting. The disturbances grew more intense and intrusive. At night, James was haunted by vivid and disturbing dreams. He would wake up in a cold sweat, the echoes of Alara's voice still ringing in his ears. In these dreams, Alara appeared as a spectral figure, demanding more from him. More intimacy, more attention, more of everything he could never quite provide. The dreams were a relentless torment, leaving him exhausted and on edge. James's waking hours were no better. He found that every time he tried to be with another woman, the encounter was marred by an overwhelming sense of inadequacy. The pleasure he had once sought so desperately was now unattainable. His partners grew increasingly frustrated, and the once eager women began to distance themselves, unable to understand the sudden and inexplicable change in James's demeanor. The disturbances from Alara began to take a toll on James's sanity. His nights were filled with relentless dreams of her, each one more disturbing than the last. In his sleep, he would find himself in a dark, oppressive place, with Alara's spectral form looming over him, demanding more and more, her presence an insatiable void that seemed to consume him. During the day, James's frustrations mounted. The pleasure he had once sought with such fervor was now replaced by a constant sense of dread and dissatisfaction. His attempts to find solace in new relationships only intensified his feelings of emptiness. Every woman he encountered was a reminder of the curse that had taken hold of his life. The villagers began to notice James's deteriorating state. His once charismatic presence was now replaced by a haunted and distracted demeanor. Gossip about his condition spread quickly, and rumors of a curse began to circulate. Some speculated that James had angered a powerful figure, while others whispered that he was paying the price for his endless pursuits. In a desperate attempt to find answers, James sought the help of Margaret, the village elder known for her knowledge of local lore and the supernatural. He described his plight in detail, recounting the haunting dreams and the inexplicable dissatisfaction that had become his constant companion. Margaret listened intently, her expression growing more serious as James spoke. "It sounds as though you've encountered something beyond the ordinary," she said. "Alara's presence seems to be more than just a mere woman. There are tales of a witch who can inflict such curses, driving her victims to eternal dissatisfaction." James's heart sank at the realization. The notion of a witch's curse seemed both fantastical and terrifying, but it was the only explanation that fit the disturbing patterns of his life. Margaret agreed to help him, though she warned him that breaking such a curse would require significant effort and insight. Margaret guided James through a series of rituals and consultations aimed at lifting the curse. They visited ancient sites, performed cleansing rites, and sought out individuals with knowledge of witchcraft and curses. Despite their best efforts, James's condition continued to worsen, and the disturbances became more intense. The nights were the worst. James's dreams grew more vivid and disturbing, with Alara's spectral form becoming increasingly aggressive. She would appear in his dreams, her demands more forceful and insistent, her presence a constant reminder of his failure to find satisfaction. James's waking hours were filled with a sense of dread and exhaustion, as he struggled to maintain any semblance of normalcy. Margaret, realizing the severity of the situation, proposed a final ritual, a complex and dangerous procedure designed to confront the spirit of the curse and make a profound sacrifice to break its hold. The ritual would require James to face the very essence of his desires and regrets, confronting the dark entity that had taken hold of his life. The ritual was conducted under the light of the full moon in a secluded grove, surrounded by ancient symbols and protective charms. Margaret led James through the process, invoking protective forces and reciting incantations. The air was thick with tension as the ritual reached its climax. Suddenly, the spectral figure of Alara materialized before them, her presence both menacing and sorrowful. James was forced to confront the embodiment of the curse, facing the manifestation of his own desires and failures. The confrontation was intense, emotionally draining, and physically demanding. James was required to make a profound sacrifice, one that involved letting go of his deepest desires and accepting responsibility for his past actions. As James engaged in the ritual, he experienced a range of emotions: fear, regret, and a deep sense of surrender. The ritual demanded that he confront the emptiness within himself and make amends for his past behavior. The process was arduous, but as the ritual reached its conclusion, James felt a profound sense of release. With the completion of the ritual, the spectral presence of Alara dissipated, and the curse was lifted. James woke the next morning feeling an unusual sense of clarity and peace. The relentless disturbances that had plagued him were gone, replaced by a newfound sense of calm. James's return to normalcy was gradual but significant. The pleasure he had once sought in fleeting encounters was now replaced by a deeper understanding of himself and his desires. He began to rebuild his relationships with the villagers and sought to make amends for the harm he had caused. The village of Elmswood watched with a mixture of relief and curiosity as James transformed from a man driven by insatiable lust to one seeking redemption and personal growth. His story became a lesson in the importance of self-reflection and the impact of one's actions on their life. James's journey was a reminder that true fulfillment comes not from the endless pursuit of pleasure, but from confronting one's inner darkness and seeking genuine connection and redemption. The tale of James Blackwood became a poignant story of transformation, a reminder of the complexities of human desires and the importance of finding satisfaction within oneself. As he continued to live in Elmswood, James became a symbol of resilience and redemption. His story served as a testament to the power of facing one's demons and the transformative effect of confronting one's past. The village, once a witness to his struggles, now celebrated his growth and the positive change he had brought about. James Blackwood's legend remained a powerful reminder of the consequences of unchecked desires and the potential for personal growth and redemption. His life, marked by both turmoil and triumph, became a story that inspired and cautioned those who heard it, a testament to the complexities of human nature and the enduring quest for true satisfaction.